that this is just my perspective, that most men do not deserve a good woman because they think that it's cool to be a player. They think that most men get, a pass to not be faithful, and it's not really cool to be in a monogamous relationship. Men think that's lame. They think that you weak. They think you a sucker. Like, oh, you in love with that girl? She got you wrapped around your finger. She got you pussy whipped. She got you. You lame. You whack. You in love. She got you wrapped around her finger. All that. And that's why men just fall for it. They think that that's how they was raised. They think that it's whack and it's lame just to be with one woman. So that's how they was raised. So they just want to be a player. That's all they hear in the rap songs is, that's why so many men, they can't just be with one woman. Yeah, this video is for somebody. Most men do not deserve a good woman. Let me talk to you for a minute. Don't get in your feelings. Don't say, oh, there's a lot of women that don't deserve a good man or whatever, or she bashing men. I'm just speaking facts, and it's a real thing, because at the end of the day, women get the short end of the stick. Women get bashed and belittled and treated badly and don't get the credit that they deserve. Most good women, I don't care what you did in your past or what you did last summer or whatever the case may be, but women in general actually are responsible, actually, do what they're supposed to do, because they cannot do what men do. We simply can't do what men do, not for a long period of time, and because it's not gonna sit well with us personally. A woman could care less about how a person feels about her or how a person views her, but when a woman is fed up and she's had her little hoe phase or whatever the case may be, and she moves on to get her life better or whatever, that's one thing. But men can be hoes forever. Let's just talk about it. They could get married and they still want to have sex with the woman at work, or the woman at the grocery store, or the woman they met online behind their wife's back. So it's definitely a double standard, and that's what I'm talking about today. We're talking about the fact that as a whole, overall, men are just unreliable to the point of they change their mind. They're not as stable as a reliable woman, point blank period. Because men think differently than women, and that's just not to bash a man or whatever, but men just think differently. Men feel that if they paying bills and they taking care of you, then that's basically, most men think that that's all that they have to do, and they can do whatever they want to do on the side. That's most men. They don't really consider the moral aspect of cheating, or the benefits of not cheating per se. They will worry about that later. They don't think about the consequences and repercussions when they're in the midst of doing X, Y, and Z, or committing sin, or whatever the case may be. And that's the difference between a man and a woman. Like, a woman can make her mind up. Like me, my mind is made up. When it's over, it's over. When it's done, it's done. There's no going back. It's not it's not no changing my mind or anything like that. That's the difference between a man and a woman. When a woman is fed up, when she's over, and when she say I'm not smoking anymore, she's gonna pretty much stick to that. If she say I'm not drinking anymore, she's gonna pretty much stick to that. More than likely than a man would do that, because a man are easily tempted and persuaded. I mean, I guess like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. So men are easily persuaded. Let's just say that. And that's a real thing. And as a whole, I believe that the answer and the cure to them not being so easily misled is actually their relationship with the Most High, with God. And in the churches, it's always more women than men. And women are always the backbone, always the support system, and that's what women are designed by nature to do, is to support her man. and to be there for him. But it's a man's job and responsibility to be there for the woman, and not only protect her and support her and provide and protect and all of that, but actually have morals and values and don't take their woman for granted. See, that's a epidemic. That's a thing. That's a current theme through married men, is that I always feel that vibe of that they married, but it really doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? They don't really care. That's over 90% of men that are married. They have that air of they don't care if their wife is not around. It's like out of sight, out of mind. It's, you know what I'm saying? But most women, and I'm speaking from my own personal experience, speaking personally, that I cannot have sex. I went without sex for over a year now. Most men can't do that. And this women online, I've seen that haven't had sex in 5 years, 10 years, or whatever, and they attractive and everything. They just don't see the point in being intimate with a man if they're not going to be in a committed relationship, which makes 100% sense. And this has to be understood, that most men are in the same category. That you could be good. It doesn't mean that you're a horrible person. That you could have a nice car, you could have your own place, you could work out, you could be like good on paper, but you're overall, you still a human being. Like, men think that just because they have X, Y, and Z, that make them good. I don't need a woman for this. I don't need a woman for that. They just look at women as like like a accessory. They don't really they don't really value women. Most men do not value women. They just look at them as a physical object, like a sex object or a tool or something like that. And that's why those men are going to ultimately be unsatisfied and not ever be happy in life, because those kind of men, they seek material. They put materialism above quality relationships and quality connections, and then in turn they don't take ownership for their responsibilities, and they like to focus on superficial stuff, like whatever the case may be. But you know what I'm saying, it's like men and women are different, let's just say that. And I'm not trying to bash men or whatever, but I just see that overall there is a dark cloud over single women or women with BBLs, and like just a dark cloud over black women as a whole, and especially it's a dark cloud over women, African American women. As we get older, there's a dark cloud or stigma that goes along with being older African American woman. It's just a stigma attached to that is not even 100% accurate, because at the end of the day, most men do not deserve a good woman. They just don't. And then when they get a good woman, because these men have so many they want to be so judgmental and be like, oh well, you washed up, or oh you a thought, oh you a Jezebel, or you whatever. But just because they not about nothing, just because you have a decent job, or you have a nice car, or you have a apartment, or you have a house, or whatever, that doesn't mean anything. But it's a lot of superficial men out here that believe, that I have met over the course of my life, that validates men. That's what they, I guess maybe that's a society has made men to believe that, they put value on physical things. Men value physical things more than women do. It's some women that value physical things and are superficial and shallow and vain and stuff like that. But men, if women are like that, it's because they are operating in their masculine energy per se, because that's a man's trait. That's a man's trait, to be more physical and visual and like sort of superficial, because men can do things that women cannot do. Like men can have 5-10 women pregnant at one time, but only a woman can only have one baby at a time, or whatever, can only be pregnant at once. So it has to be understood that there's really no comparing or bashing a man versus a woman. It shouldn't be, because overall, that's crazy. It was a white man on a motorcycle playing Bad Boys for Life. We ain't went nowhere. That's funny. A man on a motorcycle with no helmet on. He playing Diddy. That's funny. Anyway, yes, but this video is about most men do not deserve a good woman. Point blank, period. I'm sorry to tell you, they don't. They do not. And I'm standing on that. I'm standing on that. I'm standing on that. I'm standing on that. I don't care if you mad at me. That don't have nothing to do with me. They do not. Most men do not deserve a good woman. Why they up here? If they want to say that, even if a woman is like, even like Halle Berry, J-Lo, Janet Jackson, all these beautiful, successful, independent women, men love to humble them. You could be the finest, you could be independent, you could be all that in a bag of chips. But for some reason, it's going to be hard to find a masculine man who is in his masculine energy and can actually treat this woman the way she deserves, treat her better than any other man has ever treated her on earth. And that's what a man's job should be. Men need to be men and treat women like the queens and the goddesses that they are. Like men have the roles reversed, that they think that a woman's supposed to worship him and bow down and cook and clean and all of this and that, when they don't even deserve that. They don't deserve it. They really don't deserve that. The only way you deserve that is if you actually are doing your due diligence. You're doing everything you're supposed to do. You're going above and beyond and treating this woman like the queen or goddess that she is. But that's hard to find, because in general, most men are, I guess, resting in a feminine energy or something, subliminally or subconsciously, that they feel like they just don't know the role of a man. They just not really doing manly things. Like they would feel like it's really ugly to me. But you have the men that are superficial, shallow, and vain, that are materialistic, and that's why they can be down low brothers or homosexuals or something like that, because they are operating in the physical, and they are very superficial and shallow and vain. So they will do anything. They'll do strange things for a piece of change, and it doesn't mean anything to them, because they have no morals and no values. So that's the kind of guys that the society has made a bunch of low life, low vibrational, toxic men. They have created a lot of low vibrational toxic men, and the ones that are seemingly good on the outside, that are like have good jobs and are productive and citizens of society, are low-key disrespectful to women, and they don't value women. They undervalue women, and they feel like they want the woman to bow down to them. And even if a woman bows down to them and do X, Y, and Z, and do everything that he wants her to do, it'll never be enough. A man is never satisfied. Let's just say that. Men are never satisfied. Let's just say that. That's why they have these men who are practicing polygyny or whatever. Like, the men are just simply never satisfied. That's why they don't deserve. That's why most of them do not deserve a good woman, because no matter what you do, no matter if you a virgin, you ain't never had sex with nobody, you just unproblematic, you go to work, you mind your business, you not toxic, all of that does not matter. A man's still gonna treat you like SHIT, because men are never satisfied. You show me a man. I have not yet seen a man who actually, and if he do cherish her, he's gonna be overly protective and overly possessive and want to control her and don't go here and don't go there, and then she got to check in and can't talk to friends, can't be online, can't create content or something like that. Like, he's going to be actually overly protective, and that's toxic, and that's not good, that's not healthy. So I'm just saying to make this video that a good man is hard to find. A good woman is easier to find than a good man. This is point blank period, because women are more sensible, I guess. Women are more connected with their spirituality more than men, because women are more intuitive, and women give life to everyone. So women are just a blessing from the Most High. Women are queens and goddesses. So that's why men need to, I don't know why these cars be just so it's just, men just need to get back to, and it's all by design. Men never were taught how to treat a woman. Most men were never taught how to treat a woman. Men are just like so superficial and materialistic that they don't even know how to treat a good woman when they actually get a good woman. When they actually find somebody that actually cares about them and loves them and just want to appreciate you for being you, they don't know how to handle that. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Most men do not deserve a good woman. I didn't make the rules up. It's just something that came to me, and it's a real thing. It's reality, because I've been with men in the past who had girlfriends or wives or whatever. Like most men are just superficial, shallow, and vain, and they try to bash the women and dog them out. But 9 times out of 10, most men are just animals. They just operate in their flesh, and it's harder for men to overcome that than women. For some reason, that's how God made us, because it's harder for a man to go without sex than a woman. So, because most men have not taken the time out to conquer their lustful desires and their fleshly desires. And so, yeah, I need, if you're a man watching this, hopefully you're working on becoming the best version of yourself, and so you will be with a woman who actually appreciates that, and we can know that materialism or material things does not define a relationship. Just because you pay bills and whatever does not mean anything, and that does not mean you control this woman, or she owes you, she's supposed to cook every day for you or have sex with you every day or whatever just because you paying bills and whatever. But that's a real thing. Men think that, oh, well, you don't want me to cheat on you, so you got to do this. You got to have sex with me every day. You got to do this and this and that. And they really drain your energy. They really, most men are, I want to say, energy vampires, because they like to suck all of the women's feminine energy out. And then they give you your ass, they ask to kiss after they done drained you of your sacred energy, your sacred divine energy. And they just treat you like shit. They treat you like shit. That's what men do. So it's a real thing. I'm just feeling like I can't stand most men. I really can't stand them, because they use women, they abuse women, they take them for granted, they treat them like trash, and then they want to dog them out and bash them when they the same person that treat every woman like crap. So it's like, and a woman could not have done nothing wrong to you, and you still would treat her like garbage and still try to pick her apart for her age or her weight or how she looks or whatever, her past or whatever. But you're not no better, because you treating her like crap and she hasn't done anything wrong to you. That's how most men do. But we're not talking about women. We're talking about men. We're talking about how horrible and ungrateful these men are out here, and most of them are. That's the same way. They just how they was raised. That's how they was built. That's how they was programmed. They was programmed to be that way. So, but you have to be aware and conscious of that mental or that programming, so you don't fall victim to that. You fall victim to that system of treating women badly and just categorizing them and treating them like a piece of meat and like a sex object, and then degrading them and think that a woman's supposed to just serve you and bend over backwards and do all of this and this for you because you got it going on or whatever the case may be. But yeah, and if I said if women act like that, it's because they're in their masculine energy, and women need to get out of their masculine energy and get more into their feminine energy and tap into being more ladylike, and don't settle for less, ladies. Don't. And I'm talking to myself. I'm not just saying this. I'm speaking from my own personal experiences that most men do not deserve a good woman. They don't, because I've been a good woman in all of my relationships, and they never deserved me. They never deserved me. They never deserved a woman who actually has their back, who actually helps them get jobs, who actually cooks for them, who actually have their best interests at heart, who don't cheat on them, who's not using them for money. A man, he never deserved me. So that's why most men. And you could say, oh, I should choose better or whatever. Hindsight is 20/20, so we can look back and say what I should do or shouldn't do. But that's why right now I'm single, and I know better now, because it's like most men do not deserve a good woman. So that's why I know I'm a good woman. So no matter what I did in the past or whatever the case may be, but if I ever get into another relationship, he's gonna have to treat me like the queen that I am. He's gonna have to treat me like the goddess that I am, and he's gonna have to have his stuff all together, and he's gonna have to have value and worth, and not just do the right thing for me, but do the right thing because he actually believes in the Most High and he wants to do right for himself. And that's where men have to know. They have to do right for themselves. They have to have a personal relationship with God so they can actually treat a woman how she deserves to be treated. But if a man does not have a relationship with God and he doesn't believe in anything, then he's not going to treat a woman with respect or the dignity that she deserves. That has to be understood. But at the end of the day, remember to always keep the Most High first. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Assalamu alaikum, my sisters and brothers. See you next time. Bye.